I wanted to say to him, calm down, you young brat. Just looking at him made me suddenly speed up my seed eating. I could have choked. For his sake, I'm not gonna say anything. Here we go. Into the thick of it. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Victor Kudo. His song is just, his music is just. Name and occupation if you don't mind. The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me, mind you. I can be quite emotional at times too. We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Ka! Listen, youngin'. Ka! Listen, youngin'. How much call do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Kimono embroidery? That's what I do or did back in Japan. I embroidered family crests and on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed. Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he could embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Ah, yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino. Seeds? What do you think these are, I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps? Did I? Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all. Then please tell the court. We're all ears. Sure, I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. Okay. All right, Victor Kudo's testimony. Let's see what he's got to say. The young man was reading the sports paper. Oh wait, the serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. Okay. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Okay. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. Yeah, you're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with some old-fashioned ones, Newfangled? All of this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell ya. Excuse me. Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Buddy, yours are way behind you. It's time to pack it up. Like, I cannot, for the life of me, figure out why you are trying to sit here in the front of court, in front of the entire court of law, testifying to a murder, and you're over here talking about the good old days. It's time to leave it in the past, Gramps. Pack it up. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Please. Here we go, y'all. The young man was reading the sports paper. Okay, press it. So you saw the victim then? You saw Mr. Glenn Elg? I wanted to know if Guts and Braun retained his championship or not. So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question. There are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? So what if there are? If you say that you could see the victim, that means that you were sitting at a table on the other side of the restaurant, correct? Ha! I go to that place to drink Javachino. I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I was sitting at. You mean you go there to eye the waitress? Perv? The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of what looked like he was... Wait, the man took one sip of it... Stop it. Okay. The man took one sip of it and looked like he was in terrible pain and then collapsed. He took just one sip? You youngins, you waste everything. Those Javachinos cost $8. In the good old days, we could have drank every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died. Congratulations, you have earned the title of baddiest man to grace a courtroom. So it was an immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Oh yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javachino I just drank turned sour in my stomach. Ah, yes, I know that feeling too well. Yeah, I bet you do, Mr. 17 cups in a single case. Like, drink some water, bro. Rehydrate, do something. And the waitress, I presume she is... That serving girl. Right there is the defendant's chair. I remember her well. That serving girl right there in the defendant's chair, I remember her well is what I meant to say. You said, I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace! That's what it is! What? You can see all the way up to her, you know, her ankles! Like, dude. She's practically naked in that uniform! So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform, even me. Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. I'm not gonna lie, I'm with the judge on this one, Phoenix. I don't think you really needed to bring that up like at all. Like I feel like that definitely was like in the realm of you could have kept that tucked in the mental space, because like what was that? Ain't no way. Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. Ah, there are other things I recognize about her too. He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Press harder. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress is Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Okay? You do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial detail of all, her face? Ha! As if I wouldn't remember that! The witness noticed the straps on the accused apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red! So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more about this. Ask about the straps. Mr. Kudo, you seem especially interested in straps. Why is that? What? The ribbon in her hair, the straps on her apron. What's the fascination? Fascination? People have all kinds of fetishes, Trite. We don't need to embarrass the witness. Listen, you young upstarts, I haven't got some sick strap fetish. Is there any relevance to the witness's unusual love of straps, Mr. Wright? I was just curious as to why he was so fixated on the waitress's straps. I said I haven't got a strap fetish. How many times do I have to repeat myself? Very well, continue with your testimony, Mr. Kudo, and make it strapless. And make it strapless? And make it strapless. Bruh. And make it strapless. Do you think old CD really saw Maggie do it? Well, he probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there. But he was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress. I guess. She makes a good point, though. Hey, did I just say something clever? I wonder if the waitress Mr. Kudo saw really was Maggie. That's what we have to figure out, Nick. Okay, so what we need to do is figure out so we have loose straps, something about loose straps. Hold on. Serving girl brought Chavagino, put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, then collapsed. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Okay, do we have a picture? No, let's see profiles. Red ribbon in her hair, she definitely has one. Let's go back to evidence. Apron straps were loose. Straps were loose. Huh. Profiles. A waitress at Tribulations was found guilty of murder thanks to the phony me. Ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. I don't know. Let's go back. Let's go back and see. The young man was reading the sports paper. Serving girl brought him a cappuccino. She put something in it. Man took what's up in the lady's table and collapsed. Let's go over this again. So I remember her well. Show you particular features. Disgrace. Okay, we're just going through the thing again. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe You do seem... Okay, I think we need to stop and maybe do the other holding. Okay, ask about the waitress's back. The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. Ooh. Hold on a minute. Floor plans. If she was going... Okay, so if she were putting something, he would have to be sitting here. He had to be sitting here. So I guess it doesn't really point out anything. Or here. I guess it doesn't really matter. We need to hear more about this, but that's where my thought went first off. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all? Ha! He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're being asked to describe someone. But this waitress's testimony, or this witness's testimony, is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment! I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons! I'm just telling you what I saw! Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. If I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. Pause. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Let's press it. You didn't find anything to be distinct, but you did clearly see the witness's face, right? No question about it! I didn't come this far to back down now. Victor Kudo never backs down! That's not the answer I was looking for, but okay. This has turned into a matter of pride for old CD now, I guess. I wonder if he really did see Maggie's face or not. Like I thought, we need some concrete proof of this. Proof that the old guy didn't see the waitress clearly from the front. You think old CD really saw Maggie do it? Well, he probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there. But he was there for the cute... Okay, never mind. Here we go. Okay. So, the ribbon in her hair. Was anything caught my interest about her from the front? I mean, it has to be like the... Right? Profiles. Evidence. Let's keep going. Let's keep doubling back. We might have missed something. Okay. Mr. Kudo, this is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I. I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need specialists for reading and driving. I bet his eyes are only fine when he's scoping out a waitress. And I saw what the serving girl put in the Gyakuten as well. I bet he knows what's coming up. Tells me I'm not gonna like it. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask that the witness add what he knows about this to his testimony. I agree, witness. Will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. Put okay, some white powder in there. Okay, let's press this. Did she really put that in the coffee? You doubt me, boy? Yo, chill out with that boy. She took some out of a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in. Couldn't she have been adding a sugar? Yeah, this is the bottle. Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that? Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? Ha! A bottle like this, perhaps. Oh, there it is! That's the one! That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume? So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Ah. Man took one sip of it and collapsed. He took just one sip? You young to waste everything. His job of cost $8. You're in the title of the battiest old man in the room. So it's immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose it's possible. Oh yes, he slumped over so much of his twitch. I felt the Gyakuten I just drank turned sound in my stomach. Oh yes, I know that feeling. The waitress, I presume she is. I remember her well. Let's go over this again. So I remember well in the testimony. Did she have any particular features you can identify her by? Particular features is a disgrace. That's what this is. Sorry, you can see all the way up to her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform. So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit, but anyone could wear such oh yeah, this is when he starts talking crazy about himself being in it. Okay. There are other things I recognize about her too. Ribbon in her hair, apron straps were loose. Okay, you do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial details of all, her face? Okay, let's talk about it. The witness noticed the straps to the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's nothing in that comment answers I saw from the front. You didn't find anything to be distinct, but you did clearly see the witness's face, yes? No question about it. I didn't come this far to back down now. Victor Kudo never backs down. That's not the answer I was looking for, but okay. This turned to a matter of pride for old CD now, I guess. I wonder if he really did see Maggie's face or not. Like I thought, we need some concrete proof of this. If the old guy didn't see the waitress clearly from the front. You think old Sadie really saw Maggie do it? Well, he probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there. But he was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress? I guess. I wonder if the waitress really saw it was Maggie. That's what we have to figure out, Nick. I mean, the way that they're talking right now, so it's safe because we made a little bit of progress, pressing again a little bit. Actually, did that change the description at all? It did not. But Mormon Maggie at the time of the incident has small... I mean, maybe that. Maggie's fingerprints. Crime photo. Okay, there wasn't anything coming when I saw her from the front. So what do we do? Just present the apron? Objection! I guess the stains. Just so y'all can see it. You know what I mean? So y'all can see the whatchamacallits. Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. Ha! That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, why are old people like this, bro? Why do they always gotta be straight to roasting? Straight to the roast. Come on, man. Like, let's be for real, bro. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot. Oh, what? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of poisoning. Oh? Yeah. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before, yeah, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Oh, look at you, bro. Yep, we got him. I don't know what kind of onesie you're wearing either, bro, but you can't just oops your way out of this. Ha! Well, looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Here we go. Listen, Tride, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird? Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what a burger or customer wanted. Or what burger a customer wanted. He can't remember, probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. Okay. He was another one of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that as well. Then the servant girl in question brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. Alright. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. No, yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. You-know-what types, old man. How are we gonna handle this, Nick? Why did I talk like the judge right there? That was Maya. We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Alright, all about the victim. Hit him with this. Press. Spectacles? Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was green, but the other was broken. Newfangled rubbish. That's why I remember him so well. He did have some kind of lens over his left eye, but I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses. He seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some and rival Mr. Godot's sharp appearance. Bro is wearing a scouter from Dragon Ball Z. I mean, bruh. We better come up with something sharp and quick. Guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about the spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand. Yeah, we know. The newspaper was a sports paper, was it? That young hooligan, I nearly asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting, How was I supposed to be able to read the back page with all that rustling going on? I need to find out if Guts and Brawn retained his championship title. It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why didn't you buy your own? What are you looking at me like that for, How dare you judge me? Here's my seed. Bro, please stop throwing your seed at me. Guts and Brawn got beaten yesterday, by the way, anyway. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Okay, let's talk about it. The wireless? The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless. Oh boy. And using an earpiece. It's selfish is what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it. You nosy ass man. Now you know that conversation wasn't for you and you trying to listen in on it. Eavesdropping. You checking all the annoying old person boxes for me right now. I'm not gonna lie. Genuinely. Was he that desperate to listen to the radio? What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you? Okay, never mind. He's talking about the radio, but like still though. Ow, ow. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. Okay. You mean the waitress who you saw only from behind, right? You're one of those, aren't you? You never let anything go, isn't that right? Maybe. What does it matter if I saw her from the front or from behind? My eyes don't lie! Ow! I better not push it until I've got some hard evidence. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. His free hand? Yes. Which hand was that? Weren't you listening before, cloth ears? I said he was rustling the newspaper with his right hand, didn't I? If his free hand wasn't his right hand, then which hand do you think it was? Ow! Ow! Ha! Perhaps the great Mr. Tried has 3 hands. Okay, buddy. Alright, y'all doing too much now. Yeah. Yeesh, I was only asking. No need to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. That this old guy's memory has more holes than a slice of Swiss. I guess we just need to find a contradiction in his testimony somewhere, huh? Anything will do, even the smallest detail. We just need one mistake and he's ours. Okay. I think it's a spectacles thing. Spectacles? Yeah. It's definitely the spectacles thing. For sure it is. Hit save real quick, so we don't, you know what I mean, lose our health and have to go back. Alright, now go back. Whoa, not the title screen. Stop, stop, stop. Chill out, bro. Okay, so present, and then let's present his profile. Objection! Nope. Cool. Apparently it's not the spectacles, even though we literally just contradicted that he was wearing those. Wearing a broken pair of spectacles. Okay, so I just looked it up. It says present the coffee cup to the last one. Present the coffee cup. The coffee cup. Objection! How? Why? Why? Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of the testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory? I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory. I tell you nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper with his right hand. Right? Right? While drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Ha! What is this? Kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? And on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Okay. Yes, there's a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. Like, I get it, but that detail is so small. How in the world? And I've drank cups of tea before where I've turned the cup around and used my other hand. Like my left hand. Like, or not turned around, but I've just used my left hand to drink the mug of whatever I'm drinking that way, if it's cool enough. Like, I don't know. That was a really tough detail to find out. Is what it is. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Nah! Eat those seeds. Eat these seeds. It's crazy. Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he belongs. Wait! Oh my gosh, here we go, last stand for this guy. If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup, I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony. That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Yes, no question, I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault. Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen, just... Here we go, bro. This guy is, like, crazy. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure. Why not hear a little more? Mr. Godot! Yo, Judge, you just gotta let this guy run your courtroom? Yo, he cannot keep getting away with this. He gets away with this too much. Just like everyone else who has stepped in this courtroom as a prosecuting attorney, or even just in general, has stepped into this courtroom, they have never been punished for this kind of behavior, and yet I'm always getting slaps on the wrist for minor stuff. Hashtag treat Phoenix right, hashtag Godot is overrated, hashtag I'm over this, bro. Like, at this point, this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. All right, Victor. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so painful, bro. Again. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side of the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HD, TV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true, he doesn't seem to be lying. And these are the facts in good old black and white. Ooh, okay. Hit you with another test, or hit you with your other press of this testimony. The boy was wearing an earpiece, whatever. So the victim was wearing an HMD. Whatever, let me see. It was none of them actually, but anyway. You're sure that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side? No question, I could only see the sides of his head from where I was sitting. Yeah, that's pretty obvious if you look at the floor plans. From the opposite table, he'd only have a view of the side of the victim's head. He kept fiddling with it all the time. Okay? It seems you kept an eye on Mr. Glenn Elg. He was getting on my nerves, rustling that newspaper and fiddling with his earpiece all the time, and then he went and made all the fuss dying from one sip of Javachino. I wanted to say to him, calm down, you young brat. Just looking at him made me suddenly speed up my seed eating. I could have choked. For his sake, I'm not gonna say anything. So I take it the victim was a walking ball of nervous energy. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. The earpiece you mentioned, which hand did the victim touch it with? You're one of those people, aren't you? You're the type that uses your left hand to get things out of your right pocket. Or fastened your left cuff with your right hand. And when the tour guide says, on your right side, you'll see the famous blah blah, you're the only one who deliberately looks left, well, aren't ya? Yo, relax. No, I didn't mean... Obviously, he used the hand on the same side of his body that the earpiece was in. Ow, ow. So if he had the HMD on his left side, then it was his left hand, I guess. He used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. You seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Kudo. That's because I know what I saw, no matter what tricks you try to play on me. It looks like you really did see the guy picking the cup up with his left hand. This is a dead end. Well, Nick, what do you think? I think the guy's telling the truth. But even so, something's not quite right. Then chuck evidence at him until he breaks. But if he's not lying, there wouldn't be any contradictions in his testimony, right? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. Okay, covered in the victim and Maggie's fingerprints. Crime scene photo. Check. Can't see the earpiece right there in that photo anyways. and then he used the same hand to pick up a cup, his left hand. Something's... I just don't get it. Right? From I'm saying that side of the victim's head. Kept fiddling with it all the time. Something about it being a ball of energy. So the victim was walking ball of nervous energy. I'm so confused, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I had to look this up again, and apparently it's the victim's prescription bag. Objection! I don't know. We'll let the game carry it. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side of the HMD. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, no doubt. I can only see what side of his head, the side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear from his left ear. Left eardrum was ruptured. So, okay, I see. So the left eardrum was ruptured. So he wouldn't have wore an HMD over left eye. But in this picture, he's wearing it over his left eye. Okay. Sure. Eh? Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? My fault. It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon! Well, yeah, he's gone crazy. He's gone senile. I mean, honestly, me too. Order! This witness testimony is completely unreliable. Or no, this witness testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the witness from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot? A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Pause. Captain, are you calling me a drip? Anyway, this is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down. I know I'm right. The lad drank his Javachino with his left hand. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. I mean, y'all can battle it out. I'm not in this at this point. I'm just a curious observer at this point. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee. Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. L drank the poisoned coffee. Like this. Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the victim's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless, which means I just spent my entire time, this entire case, going over this, only to wind up back at square one. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, ladies and gentlemen. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. My aura is too strong. Like, that's what that vibe gave off. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Oh my gosh, I knew it was coming. I literally felt my heart drop because of it. You gotta be kidding me. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there, I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his eyes now. Yeah, that's not my fault. I didn't tell you to come up here and not remember a damn detail about this case. I literally came up here and just asked you questions. It's your own fault. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything, but I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Yeah, what kind of la la land is this dude living in? Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Gyakuten you want if you come to my house after the trial. What do you... I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. What is this dude yapping about? That's enough, witness! I believe it'll be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet, much, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. You better get ready, youngster. I get the picture. Just quit throwing seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. I'm over it. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of this myself. Young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Gyakuten. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down,
Is that all?
Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. You're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor defenseless old man?
No, we're not doubting you, Mr. Kudo.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah, so what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain, that's why that's all you can think of.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination, please. Please let this be the final one, actually, for real. For real ski. Okay.
The court generally prefers if witnesses are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo. Noisy brat! I'm warning you, I'm more savage than a macho man right now. You won't beat me with this testimony. This is the final battle. Ow. Ow. He's chucking those seeds harder than ever. I better be careful. Come on, Nick, nail him. The young boy slumped over the table. The court has already heard that testimony, Mr. Kudo. I know that. I was just setting the mood. How else am I supposed to build up the suspense, The suspense? Yes, now what do you think? Should I work the audience a bit more?
No, please continue, Mr. Kudo, as quickly as possible.
Alright, now where was I? Ah, yes, the young boy slumped over the table, and... Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over.
Okay.
A vase, you say? Yes. There are vases all on the tables in that place. There are accidents waiting to happen. They're practically begging to be knocked over.
Well, he's right about there being vases. I do remember seeing them too. Okay. There was a vase on the table when I ate lunch there. And you saw the moment when the victim actually knocked over the vase?
Well, it's hard to say. It's a bit unclear. How do you really define...
Okay, I get it.
I heard it break, and the side of it is burned into my memory as clear as day. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked.
Soaked in water, you mean?
Yes, it splashed me on the knee as well.
You said you were sitting at a table across the room from the victim, correct? And yet the water still managed to splash onto you?
It was cold! I remember it splashing on me.
Could the water really make it all the way across to the other side of the room? Okay.
You mean the vase on the victim's table falling upside down and breaking? The vase turned upside down, and my testimony is turning this case upside down. It's a joke. I just wanted everyone to hear it. What do you think, Captain?
I'm impressed by your ability to waste my fucking time.
Thank you. Godot said it for me, right there. Thank you, Godot. For once, I don't actually hate you for that.
Godot hasn't raised any objections for a while now.
So, you young show-off, with the scrap of information, I'm throwing down the gauntlet. If I lose this one, I'll take it like a man and admit defeat.
He's really giving you the evil eye, Maya.
It's you he's looking at, Nick, not me. It's like he's saying, I triple dog dare you to find a contradiction, youngin'.
I guess let's have the rise to the challenge, then. Contradiction, the boy slumped over the table as soon as chip is and the boy comes the idiot, upset the vase, he knocked it right over. He knocked it right over. It broke and the triple cloth on the table got completely soaked.
Yeah, I say we press the floor plans.
Press the floor plans first, and if that doesn't work, then I don't know. Wait. Check. I don't see a vase in this photo, actually. Let's do that, then the floor plans. Let's go. That's like the first time I was actually halfway sure of anything in this case, to be honest. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
So what?
Yeah, there's no vase. Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact.
Huh?
Lost your tongue, granddad?
I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch.
Ow, ow! Enough. If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night. What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes, go on.
The broken vase. It was on my table.
What?
Ah, well, you see,
It startled me when that young lad collapsed, so I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table?
Yeah, it was on my table.
And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Yo, this dude, bro. He could use a pause and a half. I'm sorry. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today. Nah, I'm about sick of this. I'm about sick of this. Every time they come up in my courtroom, they want to come here acting like they got something to say, and they ain't saying what they gotta say, and then I gotta double back, do my testimonies, and then every time they get away with it, only to come back and do it again. He got away with it 3 times. How does he get away with it 3 times? How does he get away with it 3 times? Now I'm about sick of this now. I'm about sick of this. I'm about sick, bro. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. I'm retiring after this game. I can't. You come in this courtroom and come correct, buddy.
I'd like to ask a question now.
Have I been to any use at all? This old man just needs something, bro. Go talk to your grandkids or something. Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo.
Wait a minute! If that's the case, there's more! I've got more to say!
Oh yes, I remember something else. This is just sad at this point. It's sad. It's actually sad. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom immediately! Expeditiously! Get him out of here. I'm sorry. I feel bad, like 2%, but like the other 98% has just been like pissed off already. It's done. It's over. You're out of here. You're gone. Be gone.
Wait! Listen to me!
Oh, golly. Thank God that guy is gone. Thank God that guy is gone. I couldn't do it anymore. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked. And I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. Oh boy. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are 2 disparities in the testimony we have heard so far. The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank with his left hand, and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it! I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor. The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it accordingly into his statement. Okay? You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that. Godot's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's. Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. I'm gonna need you to personally pay me for time off that I'm gonna need to take after this to recover mentally from the absolute elder abuse that I got from you. From that whole thing. I mean, bro. I'm sorry. This isn't like a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? That is all. This court is adjourned. Like, I feel bad, but I'm like, dude, it's time to pack it up. Bro just wanted to be a part of something so bad. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode today. I hope you did enjoy that. I'm not gonna lie, that could have went a lot better than it actually did. Unfortunately, unfortunately it just didn't turn out how I wanted it to go. I feel like there's just a lot of different points where like small details were just hiccups, like the earpiece thing. I pointed out earlier, but I didn't remember it for the actual press that I need to do on his statements, you know, later on. So that's kind of like the biggest bummer about this. Not just that, but like the little small details, it's so easy to miss, to the point where it was like fumbling when I know that I probably couldn't have. I could have just remembered something, or like, you know, but it's all good. I'm kind of excited to see what's gonna happen with Maggie. We're gonna be able to get her, you know, a not guilty verdict. I'm kind of on the fence because right now we don't really know much, so we're gonna need a whole other days of investigation to figure that out. But that's neither here nor there. That'll be the next video / stream that we do. I appreciate y'all so much for coming to watch. As always, if you do like that video, please make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button if you are new. Also hit that alert bell notification on YouTube so that you always know when I'm posting a new video there. In the description below as well, and in the bios across all my socials, you will usually be able to find where I am located on each and every platform. And in the description of the video on YouTube, you will find a link to the Discord. If you want to join that, have some conversation about the game, talk about anything, you know, feel free to join it if you want. If not, totally fine. You can always leave a comment and I'll talk to you there too. But I thank you guys so much for coming through yet again. As always, I'll see you guys on the very next video. Peace, y'all.